let's know about the LAMA functionality. You might have gone through the KT sessions, right? So the LAMA is nothing but the legal agreements with the linking with the multiple accounts actually. Earlier, let me come back to the original flow, like the previous one, where the accounts which are having the same DUNS number are mapped to the same account group. And when we have an option like when the MSA agreement is in effect in the archive, and we have an option to linkage the other accounts, which is accounts, and the legal manager and the account team members should be able to do the activity. So that's what happening earlier. But this is something like the manual activity, which all the AEs should go to the each and every agreement, link it on the account level. We can able to see that one. Maybe you have gone through in the KT sessions, right? That is the original LAMA functionality as of now. But what we have done recently is the LAMA automation. So we have automated it. Earlier, we have taken the reference as a DUNS number, but now it is a global company. Let me show my screen. Okay, this is the global company. So where we can give, for example, if I could go to this account. Please bear with me. Today I see the org is very slow from the morning. Yeah. This is the older functionality, like what I'm talking about, right? The LAMA manual work, where the account agreements and the account family agreements, those are linked, right? Everything will be shown here. This is the older functionality. But now what we are doing is, let me show you what is the global company added here. Yeah, this is the global company. And the account level, first of all, the account should be a sales record type, and should be having one global company, and the customer status, account customer status should be the customer. So this is the prerequisite for the LAMA automation to be happen on the account level. And one more thing is, and when I will explain more about it, on the account level, these three are the mandatory requirements to be happen, like linking should be happen to the agreement, right? So these are the mandatory things that should be there. Under this global company, whatever the accounts are there, right? So if we are having any one MSA, for example, if I take this MSA, okay, the latest version of the agreement, which is not a subtype of the click-through or return core only. This is part of the phase 1 and the phase 2 I'm talking about. Subtype should not be the click-through and or return core only. Then it is eligible for the governing MSA. And the record type should be MSA. This is eligible only for the MSA, not the PSA and the NDA and other types of agreements. It is applicable only to the MSA. And one more thing is the status category. The status category should be in effect, and the active date should not be null. And two more fields are like the definition of customer and the definition of affiliate. In the definition of a customer, we have two values, which is the valid ones. So, first one, signing entity plus affiliates. This is the valid one, and the one which is selected, right, which is SOW. So these two are the valid values we have to select for making it as a governing agreement. And one more thing is the definition of affiliate. It has only one value, over 50% ownership or control. So these are the valid values to make this agreement is eligible for the governing agreement. That means what is meant by the governing agreement is nothing but the global company might be having some different accounts, and which might be having agreements or might not be having agreements, but only one of the agreements should have all these criteria, whatever I told you, right? Return type only, record type, status category, active date, definition of customer, definition of affiliate. If they are meeting all these things, right, then only it will become the governing agreement. And there is a field called is governing that is set to S. Then only it is eligible for the governing agreement and is set to S. So this will be happening via the trigger in the phase 2 and the phase 1 with the eligible record, with the existing record. What we have done is we have a scheduled job. We run the job which automatically makes this existing agreements as governing agreements, and all linking of the other accounts which are there in the particular global company, all are linked to the particular account group. Let me show you this. There is an account group. We call it as a linked account in the agreement. Okay, whenever an agreement is created, whether it might be sent to the signature, it might not be sent to the voided or anything. First, initially when agreement is created, one AGM is created. AGM is nothing but the account group member. One account group is created, and in that one account group member will be created when an agreement is created. Okay, once see, if you can see here, there are two accounts. These two are accounts nothing but the accounts which are there in the same global company. These two are the accounts which are having the same global company. And one more thing is, we have here the simplex and the complex case. You may get a doubt like, okay, the global company level, we have 3 accounts and one of the account is having 1 MSA. But what about if we have the multiple agreements, like this account is also having one more eligible MSA, and this is also having one more eligible MSA. That is called as a complex case. We have dealt with the simple case here for linking and unlinking here, where we have on the global company level, even though we have any number of accounts, but only one account which is having 1 MSA, which is on the eligible criteria, which I have told you just now, right? So at that point of time, if it is a phase 1, whenever we schedule a job or whenever the job is executed, all the linking will happen. If the account is also meeting the criteria, like the customer status is customer, and it is having the same global company, and the record type is the sales, then that accounts will be linked to this particular AGM, because this is something like a governing agreement. That's why all that accounts are linked to the governing agreement. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Hope it is. Yeah. Okay. Similarly, if an account is archived or account is attrited, that means account record type. For example, we have a record type here. Let me show you that record type. Yeah, the record type, right? If it is changed to the archived account, then what happens? Or otherwise, the customer status. Earlier, this is a customer. We have some other values here. We are not dealing with the prospect. We are not dealing with the null. We are dealing with only customer and the attrited customer. If it is a customer, then linking will happen. If it is a non-primary one. Primary in the sense, the governing agreement related account is nothing but the primary account. And if it is a attrited and it is not a primary, then the status of this will be rejected. Let me show you any one of them. Governing. Okay. I think primary account is there. So, okay, this is not there. Sorry, I think I missed to get that record. Okay. Let me go through this primary account that writer one. Problem. I will show you it here itself. Let me, what is the primary account? 1018 is the primary one. So I'll take up this one, 0618. Close. Okay, let me change the customer status to attrited. Hence, it is not the primary account. The status of the AZM will be rejected here. Let me go to the account. This is the governing agreement. Okay. Is the same 0618. 0618. Yes, the status is rejected. So in both the cases, like when the account is attrited or archived, then the status will be rejected. So this is the functionality for the phase 1 and the phase 2, where linking and unlinking. This is something like unlinking, we call it as. And when we are adding the linking the accounts to particular AZ, right, account group, that is something like a linking. So linking and the unlinking will happen. For phase 1, we are dealing with the schedule job, and the phase 2, this is the triggers. Whenever there are some different triggers, you can go through all the these things in the lucid chart. This is the source of truth for us. All the phase 1, right? If you can go through it, the record type should be the MSA, and it is not a click through, and it should be the most recent in effect written MSA, and it should have some global company. The record type should be global company, and it is having only one MSA. As I said, like the global company level, though it is having multiple accounts, it is having only one MSA, valid MSA. Then it is considered as a simple case. And if it is a complex case, we call it as something like if we are having multiple MSAs with multiple accounts in the same global company, then we call it as a complex case. And in the phase 2, we are creating some LSS manual cases. I will show you the cases also. We'll talk about the simple case first. And moreover, like as I said, like the customer status is a traded customer or the archived customer. Then in the LAMA phase 1, we are not doing anything, but the LAMA phase 2, we are creating the LSS manual cases. If it is a primary account. If it is not the primary account, then we are rejecting it. As I showed you right just now, that is one. And one more thing is, post that we are checking the definition of customer or the definition of affiliate, whether these values are valid or not. If these values are valid, then it will go to the subtypes. If it is not written core only, then all the linking will happen. If it is not, it is a written core only, we are not considering it actually. But in the phase 3, we are taking it as a simple cases, and all the linking and unlinking will happen in the phase 3. That is not even it's in development process actually. But here, this in the phase 1. This is the flow chart, and the phase 2. There are lots of triggers here. Let me show you whatever I explained, right? I am explaining one more time here so that it is easy for you. Yeah, we have two types of triggers here, the agreement triggers and the account triggers. Let me talk about the account triggers first. Whenever account is having all the eligible criteria and the customer account status is not equal to attrited, and the record type is not equal to archived, that means the sales record and the customer status is a customer, and we are updating. Earlier we don't have any global company, and we are updating the global company. That means null to some value, or there is already some value. Global company is already there, and we are updating value 1 to the value 2. Again, it will evaluate this one, and the LAMA automation trigger will happen here, and based on the criteria, like for example, if you are GC having one MSA and the other GC1 is having one more MSA, so you are linking first GC1 MSA to the GC2. I mean, you are changing this value. For example, here if I show you, right, the account level. Yeah, anyone have question? Yeah. So this is the first account, first global company. It is having one MSA. If I am changing this to this second global company and it is also having one more MSA, then whatever this account should be mapped to the second global company. Okay, and if it is not the primary, if it is a primary and the other global company having two MSAs which are valid, then it will become the complex case. So every time we need to, it will be evaluating like whether it will go to the simple case or the complex case, and based on that, the linking or unlinking or the LSS manual cases will be created accordingly. So that's what here it shows. And one more thing is, if it is an attrited customer or the archived customers, what I showed you, right? If it is a primary account, it will create the LSS manual case, and if it is not a primary case, it will be rejected. That means the AGM status will be rejected. So this is what the account triggers. And coming to the agreement triggers. Agreement triggers, we have like, first of all, it will check for the record type MSA or not, and subtype is not equal to the click-through, and whether the status is in effect or not. If it is in effect, and post that, if it is terminated, usually the MSS will be terminated, right? So once it is terminated, so it will wait until for 7 days, and after that, when the status category is becoming terminated, then this LAMA automation trigger will happen, and all the accounts will be unlinked to that particular AGM. Similar way, the status will be rejected, and ease governing will be set to no. Earlier, whenever we are linking it, it is set to S, but here when it is terminated, after 7, it will wait until for 7 days, and after when the status category is becoming terminated, then automatically this version, the AGM statuses will become rejected, and ease governing will be no. So this is the terminated status. So again, it will evaluate for simple or complex case. Maybe, for example, earlier it is having some 2 agreements and it is rejected, and maybe the second AGM, right? Earlier it is a complex case, but now once one of the agreement is terminated, the other agreement is eligible for the governing agreement now. Now it will evaluate the simple or complex again. Now if it is only one agreement, it will go through all the flows again, all the checkpoints, and it will create like linking or unlinking, and based on that, any LSS manual case creation or everything will be done. So every time it will check whether it is having a two agreements or multiple agreements or the single agreement. Based on that, the action will be. Similarly, like here we have the status is not equal to archived and the activated date is equal to null. So I showed you, right, in the agreement there are some different criteria. Status category is one thing and the activated date should not be null. So if it is updated from the not null to the null, null to the not null, then the LAMA automation will trigger, and again it goes to the simple case evaluation. Okay. And one more thing is, on the agreement, I showed you like the definition of customer and the definition of affiliate, right? So if the definition of the customer value is changed, for example, I'll show you. Where is the agreement? Let me take one agreement here. Here we have definition of customer and the definition of affiliate. What if I am changing from this valid value? This is like a standard value. If I am changing this standard value to the non-standard value, I said you're right, there are only two standard values inside it. Signing entity and signing entity plus affiliates, this one with the RSOW. So these two are the valid ones. But the rest of the things, if I select other, for example, what will happen? A manual case will be created. Similarly, this is okay. If I am changing this to some other values, same thing will happen. The manual case will be created. But if it is the same definition of affiliate, I am not touching. But earlier it is a this value, but I am changing to this value. There won't be any change because this is also a governing agreement. So it will not affect anything. But if you are changing this to any non-standard value, then LSS manual case will be created. This flow shows that one. And again, here again, the simple case evaluation will happen again. And if it checks for the most recent in effect MSAs, because whenever a MSA is amended, right, we will be having a one more MSA version, and it can be in effect again. That means we can send to the signature, and after signature it becomes in effect, and the activated date will be not null, right? It will also be eligible criteria again. So here again it will evaluate that one. That's how it's every stage it will check for the simple case, and whether it is eligible for the linking or the unlinking or the manual case. If there are any changes in the definition of customer, definition of affiliate, or the account is primary account. The primary account is archived or attrited. In that cases, the LSS manual case will be created. Hope you understand. Let me show you how the case, one of the cases, results I will show you. Yeah. When the account is archived, it shows us like this. The case record type is the legal operations, and the subtype is LAMA account review. Type is the commercial legal. The case owner will be legal file room, and the subject shows like this. It gives like archived account. Why it is happening? So what's happening here? So it will be a archived account. The account is attrited or archived, so it will give us like this, and the message and the links for the global company and the accounts and all. This is the account and this is the global company, and this is the agreement. So all that links will be shown here. Similarly, we have let me show you for this.
So, Sayati, when you say the account is archived, right? So, Which team normally archives the account?
This is something like the account related teams, AEs, I think. I'm not sure about it. The account level, we don't have permission, right? Our legal managers will have access to the agreements only, but account related teams, they will be archiving.
Okay, so you mean that as soon as one account gets archived, there will be a which will be created, and that will be assigned to the legal operations team.
Right, exactly.
And they will be taking care of the agreements or whatever the activities are to do with the account archival, and they will just proceed ahead with their
yes. Functionality. Yes. And as it is giving some proper subject, right? What is happening here? For example, you can see this is a LAMA complex case, because we are having some multiple agreements in the same global company. So it specifies what's the global company, what is the subject of it, so that they can see this one. Okay, this is having some multiple agreements, and it is a complex case. What we need to do here? So they will decide. Our legal team, operations team, no, they will decide like what need to be done on this particular case. So based on this. Similarly, if it is any change in the definition of customer or affiliate to the non-standard values, I told you, right? So there also there some cases will be created. Similarly, the text will be shown like this: definition of customer, the case subject.
Okay. So basically, this complex case will be created once the global company, I think, which is the parent of all the minor children accounts, right? Will once that gets archived, then the complex case will be created. I'm sorry, I mean, if I'm not understanding it correctly.
No. Complex case is something like whenever a global company is having multiple MSA agreements. For example, if it is a straight, for example, you have one agreement in the global company level. That means you have some 3 accounts. Okay, one global company is there and 3 accounts are there, and one of the account is having one MSA initially, and it is in effect archived. The other 2 accounts are linked to it, but later point of time, the second account is also having one more MSA, and which is having all the eligible criteria. Then it will becomes the complex case. Immediately, one complex case will be created like this, and no more actions will be happen in the particular ages, because it don't know, right, which one it should be linked, first MSA or the second MSA, because it stops there. It will evaluate our evaluation criteria stops there, because it is having 2 MSAs, 2 in effect MSAs, so which doesn't come under our evaluation. So we stops there and we create the LAMA complex case. That means it shows like, okay, it is having multiple MSAs in the same global company. We are not touching it, so that the legal operations team will take care of it, and whatever the next operations that they want to perform, right, they will see by seeing the case.
Got it. Okay, sure. Thanks.
Yeah. Similarly, like a definition of customer or definition of affiliate, you change it, right? The similarly subject will shown here, and they will act accordingly.
Got it.
Yeah. I don't have access to this lucid chart. I have only comment only, but I can give the link. Just raise for the request, so that maybe our POs might have it. Just raise the request. They can help you here. I just pasted here. It helps us like all the flows. Like first 2 sheets you can refer. First one is the phase 1, and the second one is the phase 2 and the phase 3. Phase 3 will go live in the next February. But the phase 2, it is going live when the phase 1 and the phase 2 is going live on the December. Maybe tomorrow is the deployment. Okay, and I think someone has some question. Radhika?
Yes, I think yes. So this when both of them have MSA, right? There is only one of it can be a governing account, right? So that field, I mean, is it like editable, or is it just being updated via a trigger or any kind of automation?
Ease governing. You are talking about ease governing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is automated field. I mean, automatically the updated field. We are not editing that one. And one more thing is, if you are having two MSAs, it will not consider as a governing agreement.
Okay. Okay, so that field will all again be marked as no, right? If there
No,
are.
no. It will not do anything. It will go
Okay.
slightly and create some LAMA complex case, and no more action. If you are adding more accounts, or if you are making some attrited customers, or archiving accounts, right? No other actions will perform on the particular agreement related accounts.
Okay, okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Any more questions? I think
Sorry.
clear.
No, not there's not question. I'm just saying that we are not able to access this Liquid chart.
Yeah, that's what I told. I don't have access to share with you all, but just please raise the request so that the owners can provide the access. Or Lakshmi, can you please take over and check with the owner, who is the owner, and please provide the access, or get the editor access with from yourself and share with the team, Lakshmi.
I'll ask Manisha Saitis to provide to add them into the Lucid chart. If they have access to Lucid chart,